I'm Mary Godmother Rogers, and I'm the founder of Fairy Godmother Weddings. And today I'm here with my friend Gail, and we've been talking about what is the biggest budget buster, the biggest mistake that people make when they're planning their weddings. And this whole series, this whole resource library for you, is full of all kinds of morsels and tidbits and entrees and appetizers. They're all in small bite-sized chunks. You can either read the text, you can watch the video, or you can download the MP3 and listen on the go. And they're going to be very carefully archived, so you'll be able to find them easily when you want to go back and find a particular bit of information. This particular one, because it's talking about such a big subject, this is going to be a little longer. It's going to be more like an entree, but it is a really, really important topic. And that is, what do people do that really screws up the wedding badly in terms of the budget? And budget is always one of the two biggest things I hear from brides is overwhelm and budget. So today, what is the biggest problem? Now, I've been in the wedding business since 1984, and I was lucky enough, I talked to hundreds and hundreds of brides over the years after the wedding. Oh, how'd the wedding go? And over again, I would hear, oh, this went well, but gee, if I had only known, I would have done this differently. All kinds of things. And it came to me, wouldn't it be nice if people could sit down with an expert? So that's what we're doing today. And the biggest budget buster is simple. People do not have an integrated, comprehensive plan. And I'm not talking about all the checklists that you see everywhere. A checklist is just a checklist. It is not a plan. The budget, people come up with a number at the beginning. That's your estimated budget. The emphasis is on estimate. It's going to change because once you get out there, start shopping around, narrowing down your choices and finding things you want, it's obviously going to change. And the problem becomes when people have this rigid determination to stick to that artificial estimated number as if it should be carved in stone. It's not. If you think about remodeling a house, construction, any type of a major project, even the best planned projects, and I can't think of any better planning than NASA sending astronauts into space. The planning is phenomenal. Even NASA has to make course corrections along the way, and they know it, and they plan for it. Let me give you a real life example. A couple sat down with me, and they said their budget was $25,000. Now, today, average wedding is about 32 or 34, so they're not being extravagant. Well, by the time they saw me, they had already contracted their reception site and the food and beverage. They had picked that because the location is beautiful, and he had already been there for several corporate events, so he knew the people did just a wonderful job, and they smile every time they talk about this place. But it's about $4,000 over what it should have been for that size budget. Was it a mistake? I don't think so. They love the place. Not a mistake. But the mistake that these people are making is trying to rigidly say, we only have the $25,000. By golly, we are going to stick to that number no matter what. Well, by the time they met with me, they'd already spent $20,000. They have the site, the reception done, and they have her gown and a few small things. They only have $5,000 left for everything else. So what did they do? Because let's face it, you're not going to squeeze an extra $4,000 or $5,000 out of that scenario. Here's the problem. They decided on no bouquets for the bridesmaids. She has a lot of bridesmaids. They're going to be up there with nothing in their hands at all. The ceremony arch has no flowers on it. The biggest complaint brides have is about photography. I should have done better photography. Biggest regret there is. Well, they're going with, they hired a cousin for a couple $100. He has never shot a wedding before in his life. Talk about a regret that's going to happen. That one is a sure bet. Everything that they did, she has no centerpieces on the table, just a candle. Well, every wedding venue, let's face it, it has to be a multi-purpose room. So you have a corporate luncheon one day and a wedding on the next. They all have a couple things in common. They are all beige, bland, and boring with really ugly carpet. You have to transform it into a wedding. Well, she doesn't leave any budget here for transforming that. Gorgeous venue, gorgeous gown, and they're going to look back over the years on crummy photographs of a bare, skimpy space with lousy entertainment. This doesn't make any sense. They've already invested $20,000. Seems to me you protect that investment Don't throw it away. What they should be doing is, if you can come close to your original estimate, pat yourself on the back. You did good. In their case, to make it a nice wedding and one that really could be remembered with a smile would only cost about $4,000. That's only $2,000 a piece. Good grief. $25,000, $29,000 works for me. It is close enough. So when you sit down with your budget estimate, don't write it in stone. Realize that it's probably going to change. The best way to do this is sit down with an expert. The nice part, the reason I started Fairy Godmother Weddings was, up till now, it's been either feast or famine, all or nothing. You either spent thousands of dollars hiring a full-service wedding planner, or baby, you're on your own, wading through enormous amounts of information. Everybody's trying to push at you and pull at you, trying to get you to spend more money. What really is wonderful is, what if you could sit down with an expert who is an impartial advocate who can determine what your priorities are, and then let's make a comprehensive plan, put the pieces together, shift a little more budget over here to something that's really important to you, and not so much on something that's not as important to you. And everybody is different on those things. And put it together where you don't have everybody wanting you to spend more money and go absolutely crazy. The best way to do that is just go to the website, fairygodmotherweddings.com, click on the How It Works page, read through the instructions, and click on the online calendar, and you can book an actual sit-down appointment to go over these things and make a comprehensive plan. So for now, this is Mary Godmother Rogers wishing you all the best.